You try to breathe, but the air feels heavy, thick, wrong. Each does not move the way air should. Each sits in your throat like a wet cloth. Each breath takes effort, real effort, and then each hits you, not like a thought, like a wave, a crash, a collapse inside your chest. You are not in your bed, you are not in a dark room, you are not even above ground, you are buried alive. In right now, you are running out of time, not hours, not even minutes. You have maybe 15, maybe less. Every second you spend frozen in disbelief is a second stolen from the small amount of air left inside this wooden box. Your body is trapped inside something tight. Your shoulders press against wood on both sides. Your knuckles scrape rough planks when you try to move. Your legs can't stretch. They bend slightly, knees touching the lid above you. Your head barely moves. When you try to turn it, your cheek hits wood. Your forehead hits wood. There is no give, no softness, no escape. There is no light, not a single crack, not a sliver of foam above. The wood is old, maybe, or thick, or buried under so much earth that even sunlight cannot reach you. There is no sound, no distant cars, no voices, no footsteps above, just the blood rushing in your ears, just the small, wet sounds of your own breathing, just your heartbeat which you can now hear clearly because there is nothing else to hear, just darkness, in your breathing, in the growing weight of realization. You try to scream, you open your mouth wide, you pull air into your lungs, you push it out with all the force your body can make, but your voice feels weak, muffled, swallowed by the wood around you. The sound dies each from your face, each goes nowhere, each reaches no one, because above you, there is 6 feet of dirt, compacted, heavy, merciless. No one can hear you, no one knows you hear it, no one is coming. At first, your brain refuses to accept it. This is a defense mechanism. A survival trick your mind uses to protect itself from impossible things. This is not real. You think, this can't be happening. You wait for the dream to end, for the alarm clock to ring, for someone to shake your shoulder and tell you to wake up, but no one comes. The wood stays hard against your body. The darkness stays absolute. The air stays ticking wrong. And then, slowly, your body begins to believe what your mind refuses. Your chest tightens, not from pressure, from fear. Your breathing speeds up, fast, shallow, useless breaths. Your heart starts pounding harder, faster, louder. You can feel it in your throat, in your temples, behind your eyes. Panic begins to take you over. It does not ask permission. It does not knock. It floods you like water through a broken dam. Your skin prickles. Your palms sweat even though the air is cold. Your legs twitch. Your fingers scrape at the wood. In panic. Panic is exactly what will kill you faster. Because panic makes you breathe more. Every breath you take is poison now. Not poison exactly, but something just as deadly. Because inside a coffin, air is not infinite. Each is a small, shrinking gift. In panic turns that gift into a curse. Inside a coffin, there is only a limited amount of air. This is simple physics. A wooden box, sealed by earth on all sides. No fresh air comes in, no stale air goes out. You are inside a small, airtight chamber. Every breath you take consumes the oxygen inside it. The numbers are cruel. A typical coffin holds about 200 to 300 liters of air. A human adult breathes about 6 to 10 liters per minute. But not all of that air is oxygen. only about 21% is. Your body needs that oxygen to survive. Oxygen levels begin to drop immediately. With every breath, the percentage falls. 20%, 19, 18. At the same time, carbon dioxide begins to rise. You exhale it with every breath. Normally, the air around you disperses it. But inside this wooden prison, it has nowhere to go. So it builds, builds. Your body reacts instantly. It has sensors, alarms, systems designed to keep you alive. Those alarms start screaming. Your lungs burn, not like a cramp, like a fire. Your chest feels tighter than before. Not from the wood now, from something inside you. A desperate, clawing need for air that breathing cannot satisfy. You try to slow your breathing. You tell yourself to calm down, to take long, slow, careful breaths. But fear won't let you. Fear is louder than logic. Fear is stronger than willpower. Every second, you are getting closer till suffocation. Not drowning, not choking. Suffocation. The slow, patient death that comes when the air itself turns against you. Your fingers begin to tingle. This is the first telltale sign that your body is failing. The nerves in your extremities are sensitive to oxygen levels. When oxygen drops too low, they misfire. They send false signals. Tingling, numbness, pins and needles in the dark. Your muscles weaken. Your arms feel heavy. Your legs feel like they are filled with sand. Your head is peace. The darkness around you starts to change. Even in total darkness, you start to see things, shapes that aren't there, flashes of light that have no source, colors that don't exist. This is your brain hallucinating, not from drugs, from starvation. Your brain is running out of oxygen, and when the brain starves, it breaks, it misfires, it shows you things that aren't real because it is desperate to make sense of a world that no longer makes sense. You try to think, you try to focus, you try to remember how you got it. Was it an accident? Was it a crime? Was it a mistake? But your thoughts slip away before you can finish them. Like you water through your fingers, your memory fades, faces become blurry. Names disappear. Your body is shutting down, piece by piece. First your fingers, then your hands, then your arms, then your thoughts, then your memories, then eventually, everything else. Now comes the worst part, not the pain, not the darkness, not even the fear. The worst part is this: your instincts betray you. Millions of years of evolution designed your body to survive, to fight, to keep breathing no matter what. But inside this coffin, those instincts are wrong. Instead of slowing down, you panic harder. Your body doesn't understand that the air is running out. It only understands that breathing feels hard. So it tries harder. You breathe faster, desperately. Your chest rises violently. Your ribs ache. Your throat burns. Your body is trying to survive, but it is making everything worse. Because every rapid, shallow breath loses more oxygen than a slow, calm breath. Every breath now is stealing from your last moments. You are speeding toward your own death. You cannot stop. Your body will not let you stop. This is the coolest trick of all. The thing designed to save you is killing you instead. Your lungs scream for air that isn't there. Your heart pounds against your ribs like an animal in a cage. Your legs kick weakly against the wood. Your fingers scrape until the nails break. And none of it helps. None of it changes anything. The oxygen keeps dropping. The carbon dioxide keeps rising. You keep breathing. Faster, harder, more desperate. until there is nothing left to breathe. At this point, even if someone started digging right now, it might already be too late. Even if they heard you somehow, even if they called for help, even if a dozen people ran with shovels, the math is unforgiving. 6 feet of dirt takes time to move. Minutes, man minutes, and you don't have many minutes left. Your oxygen is nearly gone, below 10% now, maybe lower. Your brain is starving, not hallucinating anymore, just fading. Your body feels heavy, heavier than it should, heavier than wood in your thin darkness. Your movements slow though, your arms don't scrape anymore, your legs don't kick, your chest is still rises and falls, but barely. Each breath is small, shallow, weak. You try to move your arms, but they barely respond. The signals from your brain travel slowly, they arrive as whispers instead of commands. You try to think one last thought, one final moment of clarity, but clarity is gone, replaced by fog. By silence, by something that feels almost like a peace. You are still alive, your heart is still beats, your lungs is still move, your eyes is still see darkness, but not for much longer, not for many more seconds. The end is not a door slamming shut, it is a candle burning down, a flame growing smaller, smaller, until there is only smoke, in memory, and then nothing. Your breathing becomes shallow, so shallow you can barely feel it. Your heartbeat weakens. Each pulse is a small, tired tap instead of a strong, steady drum. Everything begins to fade. The wood against your shoulders, the weight of the earth above you, the smell of old dust in your own sweat, all of it fades. The panic, the terrible, screaming panic that has been your only companion for these last minutes, disappears, not because you conquered it, because there is no energy left for fear, no oxygen left for terror. In the silence, in the deep, complete, absolute silence, there is only one thought left. It is not a loud thought. It is not a desperate thought. It is small, soft, almost gentle. I was still alive. That is the thought. That is the last thing your brain gives you before it gives up. Not regret, not anger, not prayer. Just a simple, quiet acknowledgement. You were alive. Inside this box, under this earth, in this darkness. You existed. You breathed. You felt fear enwrapping the terrible weight of your own heart. And then, nothing. No light, no sound, no thought, no darkness, because darkness requires something to see it. Just an end. Just a long, patient silence that waits for everyone. The silence that does not judge, does not mourn, does not remember. It simply is. And now, so are you. Or rather, you are not. What you just experienced is one of the most terrifying ways to die. Not because it is violent, not because it is painful, but because it is slow enough to feel every second, because it gives you time to think, to hope, to despair, to fight, to lose. But there are worse ways. There are deaths that take hours instead of minutes, days instead of hours. There are deaths that come with fire, with water, with disease, with screams that go on longer than any scream should. In next time, you might not escape either. The world does not care if you are ready. It does not wait for you to say goodbye. It does not warn you before it pulls the ground open beneath your feet. So the question is not whether death will find you. The question is what you will do with the time before it arrives. Will you live, truly live, or will you simply wait, buried in your own small fears, breathing air that was never yours to keep? The choice, For now, is still yours, but not forever. Nothing is forever, except maybe the silence, and the silence is very, very patient.